Jesus Christ, you people suck. Wow. Wolverine on it.
Back in the days when we played video games, it was hardcore for the nerdy and lazy. Now things have changed and all our video games are also for the casual and lady. But that's okay, you know the score. We told you a million times before. Playing consoles, not just games, is in the past. And every week you listen to the best damn internet radio crew. It's the N4G podcast. It's the N4G podcast.
Alright, it's time. Another week. N4G Radio. Episode 622 for October 5th, 2020. It's Halloween, y'all. Halloween in the house. On the show this week, we have Anthony.
New face, who dis?
True that. We also got the Drew.
I don't know who I am anymore.
Nobody knows who you are.
Nope.
You have disappeared. Video games, y'all. We're 36 days away from the launch of the next generation of consoles.
Yeah.
And it's Spoopy month.
Yep.
I guess.
It's Halloween.
Yeah.
October. It got real cold here real quick.
Yeah, here too.
I
Not
enjoyed it.
particularly here.
That's what you get for living in the South.
Living on the surface of the sun.
Yeah.
Yep.
A little further south, and you'd still be like over 100 every day.
It's true. No, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, I say that, but like, ask me in a month when there's snow, and I'll probably be like, "Wow, I really wish it was so super hot here."
I would rather be cold than hot any day of the week.
Yep, me too.
You're right. Because you can bundle up more. You can't take off more clothing.
No.
I mean, you can, but you can get arrested for that.
Yes.
No, I mean, like, there was literally... I'm going to blame that on yesterday not feeling well. There was a summer where it was so hot here in Canada where I was sitting in a room which was small and had, like, a console going and a fan running and air conditioning going. And it was still so hot that I was just sitting in underwear playing a game. Like, that's how bad it was. And I was just like, I can't go any further.
I want to thank you for that mental image
You're
of
welcome.
you in a chair, big, tall, skinny dude in his underwear.
Just imagine me getting up and then you can hear the, like, leather unstick. You're welcome.
Yeah. You just wrote my fanfic. Oh,
I'm sorry, everybody. But it's
Wait
just...
yeah.
If it's not a pleasant mental image, well, it wasn't pleasant to live out in real life either.
Glad we don't do a video podcast at this point.
I don't have that issue anymore, so...
Oh, I thought you'd get there,
No.
Give the people what they want.
Nobody wants that, not even me.
All right. Well, let's talk video games. Drew,
Yeah.
since you don't talk to anybody anymore, have you played video games?
I have.
How's that Avengers review going?
Yeah. It's going all right.
It's a race between who comes out first, Iron Man VR or the Avengers.
I know, like, Marvel's never going to send us anything ever again.
I'm sorry, Marvel. It's been crazy. You know what? I have actually played a good amount of the Avengers. It's warming up to me.
That's good.
Yeah. I was a little lukewarm on it to begin with. But I mean, I have to give it to them. The story missions are really good. The story missions are great in that game. But that eventually ends, and throughout the campaign, they pepper you with like little side missions of like they all kind of meld together. And, I've been to this same desert area about 5 or 6 times already. And, I get it. It is one of those games. And I think it's okay. I still stick to the fact that I prefer Black Widow over every character in that game. Yeah. There's a lot in that game.
Yeah. I just wish I found it fun.
So I saw the skill trees, right?
Yeah.
There's 2 other tabs of skill trees.
Yeah, and you don't unlock those till you hit level 15, I think.
Yeah, you gotta keep going. I didn't realize that. I was probably about 10 hours into that game, and I was like, oh, I can hit another tab. Oh my god!
Yeah, there's 3 total skill trees.
Yeah, and I'm just like, whoo boy, that's game's got some legs at least.
I mean, you will certainly get your money's worth as far as content goes.
Yes, absolutely.
Question is, do you want to spend the time to play that content?
Yeah, and so far, I have not found myself saying, I don't want to play this right now. It seems like every time I do play it, I'm like, okay, let's do some. And I play probably about 3 or 4 missions and say, yeah, I'm done for the day. But I always go back to it.
Oh, well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of like a, want to get those dailies done kind of thing, or it's okay. It's an okay game. I need to write my review. I know I've been slacking on that, and I feel like I should just play a little bit more, but I kind of know what the game has to offer.
I think you're good.
And it's okay. It's an okay game. I don't think it's bad by any means. I think it looks pretty great. Sometimes it's a little buggy. And it runs okay for the most part. But yeah, I have played some Avengers. I also have played Overwatch, as everybody knows.
Huh.
And I played and finished God of War.
Yes.
Finally.
I think maybe we should just put that episode out on Friday.
Just save it for Friday?
Just save it for Friday. I got your message yesterday, but I wasn't home most of the day.
Okay.
So, I mean, I could put it up today, but it'll get lost. And then tomorrow is this. So maybe we just make it next Friday.
Well, I mean, we're going to be behind an episode every week.
That's okay. You guys will miss one eventually.
It's true. Hell, we may miss this one. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, then hold on.
Here's the issue. Is that our next game is Dead Space 3.
Oh, for Spoopy.
It's for Spoopy, and we're also playing it co-op. I have a hard enough time trying to schedule a single podcast that lasts maybe an hour and a half.
I was going to say, because you guys literally have 1, 2, 3, 4 Fridays until Halloween.
I mean, the past 2 years we've done Halloween in December.
Well,
yeah,
tradition going.
Yeah, we did a Nightmare Before Christmas every time.
As is tradition.
Yes. But yeah, we're going to try and play through that co-op together and talk about it. We'll see how that goes. We haven't played yet. I've got everything ready. We're doing the PlayStation 3 version.
Ooh, means you got to deal with that store.
I've already got it downloaded.
Okay.
It's been on my hard drive, on my PlayStation 3 hard drive for 4 years, since it came free with PlayStation Plus that one time. So,
how many PlayStation Plus games do we have in our libraries that we've never even downloaded?
I have. Why am I
Not
buying a new system? That's my question.
That's the reason why I'm not.
Why am I buying a new system when I legit have PlayStation 3 games that I have never downloaded?
That's literally why I'm not buying a system. I have so much to play in my backlog that there's no point.
Yeah,
I'm just looking forward to playing them better. I know that I'm not playing anything new. Well, I guess I am playing new things because there'll be new games out, but I could play them on the old machines. I just want them to run better.
True. But
That's why I'm waiting on Avengers, like to go back to it until the Series X is out, so I can run it at locked 60 frames. That performance mode in Avengers sucks.
yeah, it usually stays at a decent 30 though.
But I like 60.
Oh, listen to you.
I do. I
Couple
played.
years ago, you were like, I can't even see 60 frames a second.
That's never no.
When
Whoever
did-
said that is crazy.
When did Ken turn into Hank Hill?
I can't tell 60 frames per second. God
All
damn
right,
it.
that's a pretty good impression.
Propane.
Propane accessories.
Bobby,
Walking in my tool shed.
these kids been whacking in my tool shed, Bobby.
Which is actually not the same character.
It's not. That's Mr. It was his name Mr. Anderson? Was that his name?
I can't remember.
Yeah, from Beavis and Butthead.
Yep. I
That's
just
who he was
remember.
based on, though. Come on.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Beavis and Butthead Do America.
It's a great movie. Hey, they're coming back.
Wait, Beavis and Butthead are?
Yeah,
Didn't they already try that once?
they did, and it failed because they didn't actually watch music videos.
They watched the
Reality
TV. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't work. They're doing music videos. Man, I feel like my child is Ren and Stimpy's coming back too.
So, let sleeping dogs lie, you know?
No, we need what's the episode? Fire Dogs. We need those guys back. Ren and Stimpy.
You mentioned Ren and Stimpy, and all I gotta say is, before we even get to my video games, I have some weird questions as to their appearance in a video game.
You can't talk about that game.
Hey, the character list is on Wikipedia.
That's fine. I know they're in the game.
Really? They're in that kart racer?
Nickelodeon kart racer. Yeah, which
Really?
I'm very angry that they're not playable from the start. But we can't talk about that game.
Okay. So God of War. I mean,
It's a video
obviously,
game.
our last episode will go live Friday.
Friday.
But man, that is a game of a generation right there.
Yeah, did you see the Twitter thread floating around this week, like the 4 tens of this generation?
Of course, everybody in the what's your most unpopular opinion on video games or something? It's the same thing. It happens all the time.
I thought about tweeting and just putting 4 pictures of the Overwatch logo. That's my 4 tens.
We actually got into that discussion a little bit on the last Phoenix Down,
I'm just kidding.
the one we recorded. And I think I can safely say that nothing's going to be Overwatch for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's to a point now where, like, legit Overwatch is one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it's up there with Metal Gear, Resident Evil, all that stuff. But there's still some great stuff out there as far as the generation goes. And God of War is most certainly one of them.
Yeah. If I had to do 4, it would be Overwatch, God of War, Breath of the Wild, probably Witcher 3.
Yeah. Witcher 3 was definitely one of ours that we mentioned. And I asked Matt, I was like, did you prefer God of War over Witcher 3 or vice versa? He's like, you can't ask me that question.
That's a bad question. Don't do that.
It is. They're two totally different games,
They're both totally amazing.
but they are both amazing in their own regard.
Yeah.
The Witcher 3 is impressive just because of what it does. You have side quests that feel like main story quests in other games. You have side quests that in The Witcher 3 that feel like the main story of God of War. Oh, I just said it. I threw it out there. The Witcher 3, as far as a storytelling and a lore goes, that world is absolutely fantastic.
Makes me want CD Projekt Red to make a supernatural open world RPG.
Don't get me started on supernatural video games because it's already there. You can easily do supernatural.
Yeah, but imagine CD Projekt Red doing one, and your form of transportation across the world is baby.
Of course.
You know, and then it's like a cyberpunk first-person kind of mixture of Batman combat and Batman
Investigation.
investigation stuff. Come on, man.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good.
It would
It'll
be.
never happen, but it'd be pretty good.
You don't even have to play as the Winchesters. You could easily just be like a hunter.
You could, but show me the
Yeah.
stuff that I didn't see during the show.
Do you know how many people would be pissed if you weren't playing as the Winchesters?
It's
Yeah.
true. I mean, what if they were like they weren't main characters? You're the main character, but you interact with Sam and Dean
Oh,
constantly.
the Ghostbusters game. Got it.
Yeah.
No, I don't agree with that at all.
No.
I think the reason why it works with Ghostbusters, like, you know how you do the Supernatural game, you have to do a co-op game.
Yeah. It would have to be somebody play as Sam, somebody play as Dean.
Yeah.
What if you just play as Garth?
I'd be down for that. I would be down for that. Turn into a freaking werewolf every once in a while.
You get to play some Belle Biv DeVoe. Poison.
Yeah.
I'm down.
I'm down for that. Yeah. Let's do it, Ken.
I'm play that game.
We're gonna let's write to CD Projekt Red and said, hey, you guys really need to do a Supernatural video game.
Yeah, it's never gonna happen.
We've already got we've already got it mapped out for you.
Yeah, piece of cake.
Yep.
Just
do it.
just copy paste Cyberpunk 2077, change a couple things. We're good.
Yep. Make it ghosts and werewolves.
Mhm.
And
I mean,
vampires.
you already had that in Witcher, so why not?
Exactly. You've already got a template.
Yeah, we're good.
Yep. Just
Yeah.
give Geralt a gun.
Yeah, we're good.
A gun filled with rock salt.
I mean, obviously. Imagine the lore in that game, like the bestiary. I'd probably read all.
It's so good.
Anyway, you play anything else?
No, not really.
Yeah.
It's just been that. I mean, I've been powering through God of War as much as possible, and I still haven't done everything I want to do in that game.
Yeah, there's a lot in that game. Like we were
Yeah.
talking about this week, I couldn't do the Valkyrie stuff. I think I got through 2 or 3 of them, and I was just like, I don't want to do this because I'd already beat the game.
Yeah,
And I certainly didn't want to keep going back to the rogue planet or the rogue realm.
The Valkyrie fights are so goddamn hard.
Yeah, they are.
I was able to beat one of them,
Yep.
and then I ran into one that was supposed to be the third one you took on, and I was like, yeah, not trying this right now.
No.
So I was able to beat one of them, but yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
We will move over to Anthony to see what he has been playing.
So I can't talk about the one game still, which is
I don't understand why the embargo is so hard on this game. I don't get it.
yeah, I'm not sure either. I really don't know. And that's as far as I can talk about it before we start getting into trouble. So
Yeah, I'm sure Game Mill is going to come after us.
I mean, spoilers, there isn't much negative to say. So, that's the reason why I'm kind of irritated. This is the first time where I'm I don't know what the benefit is unless they think the response is going to be bad. I'm not sure. Anyways, fuck it. I've been playing, and I'm playing actually right now, a game that came out earlier this year called Murder by Numbers. It is what's commonly referred to as Picross, even though technically that's, I think, a Nintendo branding of it. It's a Picross game that has a story to it. It's pretty well written. It comes off with the tone of an Ace Attorney game, which is funny because the composer of the Ace Attorney games, or at least a couple of them, does the music for this. And it takes place in the 90s, and you're an actress who or you're following an actress who like loses her job and then her boss dies the same day, and you're trying to solve it. And she's accompanied by this like floating computer. Well, I don't even know what to call him. Just a robot, basically. And he can't access his data bank of objects. So when you're doing the Picross, it's actually him trying to reestablish what things are in his data bank. Like they do a pretty good job of explaining it. And I was worried that there wouldn't be a lot of puzzles in the game because there's a story to it. But not only is there a bunch of puzzles from the actual story segments, as you do more puzzles throughout, because there's just some that are unnecessary to complete the story, it adds extra puzzles in another section. So I have to say, like, this game has been an interesting take. It's kind of more interesting than the Picross stuff from Jupiter, which you find on Nintendo consoles, where it's like just kind of just the constant, here's another puzzle, here's another puzzle. It's nice to have a break in between. And I think the puzzles in this game are far harder than anything I've done in the Jupiter series, although I obviously have not played the latest ones as they're Switch-based. Yeah, that's been it. I had vertigo yesterday. I wanted to give Hades a shot, and then that was thrown for a spin as the room was spinning. So that's it for me.
All right. Well, that's no fun to have vertigo.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
I know the U2 song makes it seem fun, but no.
Well, let's not live our lives based on the U2 songs.
Well, the movie made it not fun either.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't think I've
true.
ever seen it. All right. I'll wrap this up. I dipped into a lot of things as per usual, the ID and Xbox stuff, but I did try Night in the Woods on Game Pass, and after one section, I was like, "This is not for me." I played the games with gold, which we'll talk about later. The Slay Away Camp, Butcher's Cut, and now I know where the Friday the 13th puzzle game got its.
Oh yeah, it's made
That's
by
the
the same
same game.
people. Yeah, it's made by the same people.
Okay, well that makes sense.
Like, it's not a ripoff. They literally went to the people that made Slay Away Camp and was like, "Hey, can you do a version that's Friday the 13th?"
Yeah, this is exactly the same. It's the
Because I had a feeling at first it was a ripoff, and like, no, it's all, legit and good to devs and stuff. So it's a pretty good game too.
Somebody jokingly said that we didn't get Star Wars because of my Madden review, and I kind of chuckled at that. But we did not get Star Wars for review, so I downloaded the trial on EA Access. I don't know. I think it's like, I don't know how many hours it is, but I played through like the first 2 missions. That game is really well done. But it is the first game that made my Xbox One X fucking jet engine, man. Holy shit.
Dude, Avengers does that for mine.
I've heard a lot of people say Avengers does it for theirs. I never heard it, but on Star Wars during the opening cutscene, I could hear it. I was like, "What is that noise?" And like, I walked over to my Xbox. I'm like, "Oh my!" So that game is a rock in my Xbox. I just played, like I said, the first the tutorial mission and then the first mission. And I'm like, "This is good." I'll eventually either pick it up, or by the time I get around to playing it, it'll probably be in the vault. So just play it there, because EA Access coming to Game Pass. So, dig through the ID games. It was a smaller week, and truthfully, it was a weaker week.
It's a shorter week, so everything was made by Radaleka.
No, they had one. They only had one this week.
Yeah,
but there's another company that's starting to put out almost a weekly game too, and I think it's called Sometimes You. Most of their games are like narrative driven. They're not like, like games. They're like story games. And the game they put out this week is called Swordbreaker, the game. And it is literally a choose your own adventure book style game, where you get presented with a scenario, and then you choose, I believe it's up to 3 options that you can do. and you get, I think it's 4 lives, and if you fail 4 times, then the game's over. So it's basically just a memorization thing of how to get through it. The next game I played was probably the coolest game I played this week on the ID at Xbox. It's called Inertial Drift. And it is a drifting driving game.
Is that the twin stick one? Like you actually use
Yeah.
both the analog sticks? Yeah.
Yeah, that is a cool dynamic, I will say. It took me a minute to get used to it, but once I got used to it, it's really cool. And I love the visual style of the game. It's got like a story in between each race. It's got this real like neon glow look to it, and it plays fantastic. Like it feels really good. That was by far the game that I played the most and enjoyed the most out of the stuff that came out this week. I didn't play a bunch, but I did boot up a game called Orange Blood. It's the next game from Playism. And it is a hip-hop JRPG done in a 2D pixel art style. And all of that sounds super interesting, but it is a JRPG, so like I started it up and I literally went through this like opening dialogue and stuff. I was like, this is going to be something I need to sit down and really take my time to get into. I didn't feel like 30 minutes was a fair amount of time to just say anything about that game, but I like the music in it. Music in it's good. The next game I played was called Feather. You're a bird, you fly. There's literally nothing else you do. You just fly around. It's one of those games. Projection First Light is a 2D side scroller where the characters are like shadow figures in front of like it's like the aesthetic. You see like the characters are all black outlines. Their appendages are attached to sticks, so it looks like a play. It's fine. I don't know if you guys remember this. It was shown on one of the stages. But Bartlow's Dread Machine.
That game looks fantastic.
Yeah.
That's the one where they're all on. It's like robots that are going. It's like not robots. They're like pieces of an automaton moving through the like gear shifter, right? Almost.
Yep.
Okay.
And like you've got different paths you can go down. Enemies come at you. You can aim in any direction and shoot them. You collect money to do upgrades and buy hats because of course you buy hats in that game because it's very steampunky. This game is cool. It's neat. I like the music. I like the old timey style. It controls really well. It's an interesting game that I think is pretty neat. The Ratalaika game is Birthday of Midnight. It is a level-based game where the objective is to take this little white square and shoot him into a hole. So basically you get a level, you push on the analog stick and hold down the A button to fire him, and then you've got to try to angle it so that he lands in the hole. Think of it like golf. But, yeah. And then the last ID game that I played this week is called Commander 85. That is a first-person game where you are a kid in school whose mother... The game begins with your mother yelling at you because you spend all your time on a computer. And then the computer talks to you and says, hey, I can fix your school record. And then...
The computer talks to you and says, hey, kid, do you want to buy some drugs?
Hey, kid, you want to buy some drugs? But no, it's like a narrative-driven first-person game where you interact with things on the screen. I will say that the intro and the music is fantastic. It's very much going for that Stranger Things / how you remember the 80s kind of vibe. So, that's an interesting game. But the big game I played this week was Bash Bandicoot 4. The Bandicoot game?
Yeah.
This game is really good.
Yeah, I was looking at when I went to Walmart when I thought I didn't have Vertigo but did still. I was like looking at it and I'm like, $80 though.
It's really good. So the one thing Crash Bandicoot games have always been good about is making you feel not good enough at every turn. So just completing the levels is challenging. Like Crash games have always been hard. Completing the level is hard. But even if you complete the level, the game still makes you feel bad because if you don't collect every single box, it just feels like you didn't accomplish anything. And in this version,
Don't they drop them on his head?
yeah,
One.
it's attached to it, so you can unlock skins for the characters.
God damn it!
The only
that's
way
that's
to
a good.
it's
having
sucks.
skins locked. That's such an evil thing.
Oh, it's awful because
Oh.
the six jewels are the first three are based on boxes. So if you get, I think it's 40%, 60%, and then the fourth jewel is dying. So one of the things I like about this version is they've got two gameplay modes. You can play it modern or you can play pro. Modern just allows you, it doesn't give you lives. It just lets you continue. If you die, you just start back at the last checkpoint. Roll level over. The jewels, the fourth jewel you can earn is if you die a certain number of times. So like the first level, it's like 0. So you can't die at all. But as you get further into the game, it gives you more. Like you can die 3 times, you can die 4 times, things like that. The fourth jewel is hidden, or the fifth jewel is hidden. I'm trying to remember what the sixth jewel is. I can't remember off the top. I think it's the Wumpa fruits. You have to collect so many Wumpa fruits. There are also scattered throughout the levels these retro tapes. And when you pick up a retro tape, it unlocks a level that takes place like back when Crash was first being tested through Cortex's stuff. And I will tell you right now, I unlocked the first one. I played it 20 times and could not. It's so fucking hard. And it is a one and done run.
Ken, I don't want to fucking. God damn it!
It's
I'm
so
gonna go buy
hard.
this shit.
It's so hard. Like
But it
these
just-
retro levels are so
It has
hard.
collectibles, Ken. It has collectibles, and that
Oh, it has a lot of. So
that activates the animal part of me. It goes, oh, I need to get them all. Like
there's
oh,
more.
great.
There's more. I got more.
No.
This game is really good. I'm not gonna lie.
It sounds
Once-
like it's filled to the brim with content for
Oh,
my
absolutely.
$80.
So the third area, I think it's the third area, you unlock a new character. So there are new characters you can play as. So you can play as Crash and Coco straight from the beginning.
And
But
you can
once you
play
get-
as the weird big bandicoot guy, right?
Well, it's a girl. The first one is that one, and you go to this third area, and Crash and Coco are captured. So then you take over this character. You play as that character through the level. Here's the cool part. You ready? When you finish that and you unlock her, throughout the game in other levels, you can go back and see where she was during those parts of the levels. So it unlocks a whole new tier of levels just for her. And it does that with every character that you get to.
So hold on, you go back to like World 1 or whatever.
Yeah, and you get to play what she was doing
So
while Crash was playing
you're
that
not
level.
playing you're not just playing the same level that Crash was doing.
Nope, you're playing a different level.
How many fucking levels are there, Ken?
There's a lot of levels. I've been
Jesus
playing for an hour and
Christ.
45 minutes. I think I'm only on the third world, and I still haven't gone back and played any of the past levels.
Holy shit! All right.
There's a lot in this game. I'm enjoying it a lot. It looks great. It plays great. It definitely has that Crash difficulty. But man, this probably gonna make my top 10 of the year. It's really fucking good. It's really good.
Yeah, I should have noted that too. Like when I said Murdered by Numbers is probably going to be in my top 10, but I'm also a Picross nerd, so
Yeah.
not surprised.
Crash
But yeah,
is-
I need to pick up Crash clearly.
It feels good, man. It feels good to have, because it's been how many years since 3? 3 was the last really good Crash game. Man, it's been too long. This is really good. I'm really, really enjoying it.
Yeah, it's about time.
It is about time, baby. It is about time. No, I'm really happy with this game. So, and I am a big Crash fan. I remember, I was there when he emerged. I remember arguing with people because they were like, "Why are you playing that? Mario 64 will be out next year." I'm like, "I don't give a fuck. I can play 2 games. Shut up."
Yeah, why are you playing that? There's a game coming out 4 years from now. Fucking okay, man.
That was the argument on the playground back then. It's like, well, I'm buying a 64, so Mario 64 could be a better game. I was like, well, I'm buying them both, you poor son bitch. Nah, just kidding.
I'm sorry your parents don't love you.
And I'm sorry your parents don't love you enough to spend $600 on you. Sounds like your problem. But no, I'm really happy. I Toys for Bob. I've actually been to the Toys for Bob office. I went there for Skylanders Giants back in the day. Those guys really, really, really love video games.
Well, they
really
did the Spyro, so
Yep.
I'm not surprised. I'm surprised that they were given Crash because I figured was Vicarious Visions that did the remasters.
Yeah, they did the remaster.
I was surprised that they didn't have that team do that again, but I mean, listen, from the sounds of it, it's not a bad thing. It just was weird for me to see that Toys for Bob was doing it, but I'm glad it's all good.
Beanox also worked on it. Their name is in the intro credits.
Yeah, they're a support team now, right? So.
Yep. So they're part of this as well. But yeah, the guys at Toys for Bob have done a fantastic job. This game is so very, very, very good. I'm really happy with it. But I think that's about it. Yeah, I did play a little more Mario. I didn't. Did anybody try that Mario 35? I know you didn't, Anthony. You don't have a Switch, but Drew, did you try Mario 35? I did not.
No, I did not.
Guess I should check that out at some point. But it's a fucking battle royale. It's not my thing.
Honestly, I've heard that it's fine.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody's complaining about that ever being delisted, though. From the sounds of it, it's like, because I saw the Wario 64 tweets, it's like, this takes too long to finish.
Well,
Because I think the problem is that people are fairly competent at Mario.
sure.
It's harder to wipe out a good chunk of people quickly, especially when you don't have 99, right? Like Tetris.
Yeah,
People go into Tetris who don't play Tetris very well, and they're immediately knocked out. So
yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. This is probably the slowest week I've seen in a while, especially this time of year. But this week we have Foregone, Ride 4 Special Edition, Ninth Dawn 3 Shadow of Earthel. Earthel? I don't know how you say it. FIFA 21 Champions Edition, Ministry of Broadcast, Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 Grand Prix, Eichenfell, Mortal Blitz Combat Arena, The Watchmaker, Ben 10 Power Trip, The Survivalist.
they're making Ben 10 games still?
Oh yeah, why wouldn't they?
I didn't even know that show was still on. I know it's the newer
not,
version,
right?
yeah. Sorry?
It's not still on, right?
I had no idea.
There was a rebranding where the art didn't look great.
Yeah, I played the first game from that when they redid it. I reviewed it, and it wasn't bad. It was actually a halfway decent little game. It was fine. I was surprised.
It's fine.
Yeah,
it was
so it's
about 3 years ago, maybe.
so it is a so apparently it's still going. It's the 2016 version because there's a 2005 version that's now known as Ben 10 Classic. Sure.
Dude, I can't keep up with the Ben 10 stuff. I don't know anything about it to begin with, but I feel like there's a new game every 6 months, and I don't know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Isn't that shit kind of like Pokemon? Doesn't he get monsters that he turns into or
He
some
turns
shit?
into monsters, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know anything about
There's like 10. There's 10 beings that he can turn into.
it. Gotcha.
Although there's more than that. And then it's funny because somebody was in a news article that we'll be talking about. Somebody mentioned that it's like, oh, it's weird that Yuri Lowenthal voiced Ben 10 because this redesign kind of looks like him.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, I know.
All right. The only game coming out for Xbox that is not listed anywhere else is Airy Sky Castle. It's got a lot of the same stuff. Let's take a look at the Switch. Coming out on the Switch. Switch is always full of games. God damn. Quell, Danger Gazers, Space Grunts, Agatha Christie's The ABC Murders, Charterstone Digital Edition. Oh, FIFA's coming to Switch. Didn't know that. Foregone, From Orbit, Hidden Objects Collection for Nintendo Switch. Oh boy, how do you say this? Shmoobity Boo?
Moobity Boo.
Shmoobity Boo. That's the name of the game, Shmoobity Boo.
Okay.
Adventures of Chris, because Chris needs an adventure. Astro Wing Space War, Falcon Age, Filament, Flip On, Game Dev Tycoon, Ghost of a Tale, Green Hell, Home Post-Mortem Edition, I Am Dead.
A lot of dead in here.
This is Halloween. Neighbors Back from Hell.
Okay.
Pio Fiore, Faded Memories. Puddle Knights. Skate Master Checo? I don't know how you say this shit. Tactical Champs.
Tactical Champs.
Tactical. COOL. Tactical.
Oh, God.
The Ramen Sensei. The Watchmaker. Tiki Brawl. Torn Tales, the Rebound Edition. Warrior Orb. It's all one word. Warrior Orb. Reflection of Mine. Street Racer Underground. And the Survivalist. I added the S's there.
Okay, the Warrior Orb game. I like the character design in it.
I can't. The Switch eShop is just a fucking dumpster fire. I can't.
I've seen this game before. It's on PC. It's been on PC. I think it's on Xbox One as well.
It may be. I can't.
The Survivalists. I kind of want to play that.
I don't even know what that is.
You know the Escapists?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's their next game.
Oh, okay.
They're taking that into a survival setting where you're on a deserted island.
I've tried to play those games. They're not for me. All right, let's do. Well, go ahead, Drew. What?
Nothing. I was just curious. I would love to meet somebody who, because I know there's somebody out there who purchases every game that comes out on Switch.
Oh my god!
And I would love to meet that person and talk to them.
I see the guys that buy like all the physical games that come out on Switch, and I'm like, dude, you have got like a pack of shit. Like, there's so many bad games that get released physically on the Switch. I don't understand it. Really don't.
Are you saying Tiny Troopers?
Oh, dude, Tiny Troopers is just one of many. And people went nuts for Tiny Troopers. I'm like, that game is a bad video game.
It's on sale at Walmart! Hashtag Switch Core.
Dude, it was $2 digitally, and that was too much to pay for that game. I'm just saying. Let's do some news. Who wants some free games? We got our free games for the month. PlayStation Plus, you get Need for Speed Payback and Vampire. Also, apparently Bloodborne showed up again, so you can download that too. So, Xbox games with gold. You got Slayaway Camp, which we talked about earlier. The second half of the month for Xbox One is Maid of Skur, which I've heard is pretty good. I played like 2 minutes of it, but I haven't had a chance to go back to it. Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy, which I find hilarious. I tweeted out a picture of that. So, if you don't remember, they remastered that game for Switch and I think PS4, like last year. And the Xbox backward compatibility version that runs in 4K looks better than that remaster.
Yeah, I mean, it's running in 4K.
Yeah, but it's also not remastered. It's just the same game that came out.
Did they really do anything to the remaster?
That's the funny part, because they charged you for that. You see what I'm saying here?
I think it was just modernizing it to some extent. Like, oh, this actually just works on a console now.
Well, it works on your Xbox now, and it's free.
They might have made it widescreen. Now that I think about it. But
Nope,
other
it's
than that,
widescreen on the Xbox version.
I didn't know that. All right, well.
Yeah. So I just found that funny because I reviewed it and I was like, yeah, this was a neat game back in the day, but they charged $30 for it, and now you just get it, and it looks better. Also, Costume Quest is the second half of the month. If you've not played those games, you should probably play those games.
Costumes.
Bunch of goddamn costumes.
Look out. Costumes.
Costumes!
It's so ridiculous. I still need to go back and listen to that because the first time I heard that, I was like, that is amazing.
It's pretty good. Fall Guys Season 2 starts this week. So there you go. The internet died. What was that, Wednesday morning? I think it was Wednesday. Because Nintendo announced the new Smash character.
Was that the real reason?
I don't know, Twitter literally went down the time that announcement happened.
I mean, I think
kinda
that's just
funny.
a coincidence, but
It may be, but it is Minecraft Steve. And Minecraft Alex.
I didn't know there was an Alex.
Yeah, it's the co-op
Just-
character.
Yeah, well, now apparently it asks you which character you want to play as, because, like, Steve is clearly more of a masculine character.
Leave Steve alone.
I remember at one point somebody asked, like, is Steve a guy? And, like, the answer was, Steve is Steve.
It's fucking Steve, dude.
I think it's a great addition. I think it's ingenious, actually, that
Yeah,
this is the
it's
character
brilliant.
being I saw some people be upset because, like,
The
But I'm
Smash
like-
community is always upset when the
Yeah, you're
character's announced and it's not the character they wanted. So,
but, like,
fuck
to
'em.
me, like, I think this is one of the more, like, outside the box characters. Like, I know, yeah,
Outside
that
the
wasn't-
blocks.
Yeah, outside. God damn it! I wish I'd thought of that pun. That's what really hurts me about that.
You'd be
um,
alright.
But it's like to me, like, yeah, on, like, surface level, it would be like, oh, what is it gonna do that's different? But it's like, that is such a weird character to bring in, and all the things that, you know, Minecraft brings along with it, that I think it was a great decision.
Yeah.
It's that or another Fire Emblem character. What do you want?
They probably want another Fire Emblem
Ugh.
character.
I get it; they're not all the same, but it's just one of those things where it's like, it just.
They all look the goddamn same. It's another sword character.
Well, it's not even that it's just another sword character. It's like it is more represented than any other Nintendo franchise except Pokemon.
Pokeball!
I did the count. Like, I went through every character.
Count one.
wait, there's more Pokemon characters in Smash Brothers than there are Mario characters?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, let's be fair.
Mario
There's like,
characters, I think.
I mean, Mario, there's like 2 characters and they're just repeated over and over again.
Yeah, like Dr. Mario, Luigi, which is now different than Mario. Peach,
Sure.
Bowser.
Peach, Daisy, you know, it's all the same shit.
But you get into the like the other thing is that, like, yeah, the Pokemon is a weird split, and then with Mario it's like, well, Donkey Kong, but then Donkey Kong has his own series. Yoshi, but Yoshi has his own series. Like, he doesn't go under the Mario icon, so it's like, but with Pokemon it genuinely has the most characters.
It's fine.
Yeah, no, it just I think Minecraft Steve is a good choice.
Yeah.
You know, again, it looks like they're playing well with Microsoft, which a lot of people are just going like, that means you could still have the Doomslayer or Master Chief.
What I'm telling you about this particular edition, and thank God my son, he's grounded right now, so he's not allowed to have his Switch. As soon as he turns that Switch on and he sees this, he's going to beg me to buy that season pass. Because my son loves Minecraft. So this
Grounded
is
for life.
yeah, this right here is a brilliant move to sell that season pass.
And that's the only way you can get it?
Well, you could buy them separate, but I mean, you end up paying like $7 or $8, so you might as well pay for the $30 and get all 4 characters. I think it's 4.
Is that the last of that pass?
No, I think
No,
it's 5.
it's only the second one.
I
Oh,
think it's
really?
5 because there's 4.
Who was the one previous?
There's 2 characters.
It was
already.
Arms character.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So there's 3 more, I think.
Yeah. I mean, they've added some weird shit. What was the Terry Bogard was a weird one?
Terry Bogard is in Smash Brothers.
Yes, Terry Bogard was the Smash character. He was in the last season pass.
This just goes to the fact that I don't care about Smash Brothers.
Drew, you should watch the announcement trailer for Terry Bogard.
Why?
It's pretty good. That's really good.
That's a pretty well done trailer.
Yeah, I like how they sent the envelope to all the different King of Fighters characters. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Smash got everybody. Drew, it's got fucking Bayonetta. It's got Cloud, Solid Snake. Mega Man is in it.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Minecraft. Joker from Persona is in it.
That's such a weird one.
That's right. I remember that one because I made the joke of I hope they used the Heath Ledger Joker and not the Jared Leto Joker.
Yeah.
Wow, that joke is even worse with time. It aged like vinegar.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It just because everybody kept saying Joker's coming. I was like, oh, okay.
Pac-Man's
in it, yeah.
He was in the previous ones, though. And Sonic was in the previous ones.
Was in the previous ones, but it was a big deal when Sonic made it into
Ken, Ryu.
Yeah, Ken and Ryu. Yep, they're in there.
Simon Belmont.
Yep.
And
do you know what my favorite thing about Smash is booting it up and going to the music section and just listening. Every single song is in the soundtrack section. So, like, you can listen to Metal Gear, you can listen to Mega Man, you can listen to fucking Super Mario World. I mean, all of those tracks are just there.
Hero from the Dragon Quest games.
Do they make a stage for each character as well?
Yes.
Okay, so there will be a Minecraft stage.
Yes.
Interesting.
I forgot about Piranha Plant, which I know isn't a third-party one, but that is so absurd that it walks around on tiny legs.
Yeah. If there's nothing else, Smash Brothers is worth owning just to boot up and look at the spectacle that it is. Like, there's so much shit. And
isn't the Piranha Plant, you can't buy it anymore?
Yeah, it was only for people who pre-ordered the first season pass.
Wow.
Which character?
Piranha Plant.
No, I think you can get him still. You just don't. I think you have to pay for him. It was free. Maybe
that's the case. I know it was free if you did the first season pass.
I'm gonna check so I don't set people.
Go to the eShop and see if you can buy.
Piranha Plant. Well, I just went online. Yeah, Piranha Plant's available for purchase for like the $7 separately. Okay. I think he still comes with. No,
I think that was that was
it
limited.
Was free. Yeah, it was. It says Piranha Plant is not one of the fighters included in the Fighters Pass bundle. So you had to, if you pre-ordered them, you got it for free. But now that because you didn't, it's charged. But hey, you can still get them, which is good.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be real honest with you. That's just the characters you can play as, Drew. There are what they call spirits in this game, and just about everything you can imagine, like from the games that are included, can be used as spirits. It's insane.
Shantae
is in there, yeah. Shovel Knight is in there, isn't he?
Yep, because Shovel Knight's and everything.
Yeah, like.
Do you remember that indie fighting game?
Which one? We've been over this.
The one with Shovel Knight in it.
Which one?
There's the one where you actually play as anime Shovel Knight.
You're talking about the fighting, like straight fighting game, not like a Smash Brothers clone. Yeah.
Give me a second.
It's got Isaac in it too.
Combining Isaac.
It's got the fucking 1001 Spikes, dude.
Crisis is the Crystal Crisis is the stacker.
The puzzle game, yeah. Blade Strangers, yeah.
Yeah, Blade Strangers.
Which ran at sub 60 on Switch and drives me fucking insane.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Everything that company puts out, I put into question about the effort put in.
Yeah, that fighting game is fun.
Yeah,
but
I'm not talking about the devs part of it. It's the publisher.
Oh well. Anyway, yeah, Smash Brothers, Minecraft Steve.
There you go.
So when you buy an Xbox Series X or a PlayStation 5, would you like to know how much of your hard drive is still available? Because I have the answer for both.
It shouldn't be anything on it, right?
Well, you got the OS.
Sure.
So the Xbox Series X will give you 800 gigabytes of usable storage space out of the box. The PlayStation 5 will give you 600
Oh my god.
gigabytes out of the box. So there you go. That's how much space you'll have at the beginning. Unless you spend $230 on an expansion card or use an external drive, which we have not confirmed that the PS4 games will run off of. PS5 games will not, but you could store them there and move them over. I believe that is still an option.
So, all right. I'm still really fuzzy on this. So I have a external hard drive on my Xbox One X right now.
Yes.
I can legit unplug that thing, plug it up into a Series X, and play the games off of it.
The old games, anything from Xbox, Xbox 360, or Xbox One, yes, you can play them from that external drive.
They don't get any benefits, mind you, from...
No, that's not true. They don't get loading benefits. They still get the auto HDR, the upgraded frame. They still get all of the stuff but the loading.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Now, if a game is designed specifically for Series X or S, they will not run from that external drive. You have to run them from the internal NVMe.
But you can transfer from the external hard drive to the hard drive of the Series X.
That is correct. You can store them on your external and then move them when you want to play them.
I wonder if it's relatively quick.
There are videos of all of it online.
Okay.
You can go watch.
Hopefully it's faster than just re-downloading it.
It is faster, but you're still bottlenecked by the USB 3.0. It is faster than downloading it entirely.
Okay. I may just load up everything onto that hard drive probably in the coming month and then just plug it up. Good to go.
You can do that. You totally can do that. Now, as far as PS5 goes, I do not know. I do not know if the PS5 will recognize the drive and just be cool with it. Or you're going to have to reformat it and re-download to it. I don't know. I'm going to guess the latter because let's just move on to the next story. Xbox has confirmed that all saves transfer from generation to generation. So if you play, let's say Yakuza Like a Dragon, we'll use that one because that's going to be a good example here. If you buy Yakuza Like a Dragon on Xbox One and you play it, then you buy a Series X, get the upgraded version of that game, your save transfers.
Right.
Now, on the PS4, if you buy Yakuza Like a Dragon this year and you play it this year, when you upgrade to PS5 next year, save don't transfer.
Why?
You got to start over.
Why?
I don't know, but there have been multiple games.
Spider-Man.
Well,
Spider-Man won't do that either. So
no, the save will transfer on Spider-Man.
I thought they said the save wouldn't transfer.
The save for Miles Morales. Or are you talking about Spider-Man?
I'm talking Spider-Man, not Miles Morales.
Spider-Man, I don't think transfers. Miles Morales does. But a lot of third-party companies have come out and said Dirt 5 is another game that if you buy it on PS4 this fall, upgrade to PS5, you get the new version on PS5, but you can't transfer your save. So, it's a mess.
Fun.
Yeah. So there you go. Speaking of Spider-Man, they changed his face. In the Spider-Man Remastered, he has a new face.
Okay, so wait. There's a... All right, I haven't been paying attention to news.
Okay, what do you need clarified?
So, PlayStation 5.
Yep.
They have Miles Morales, which is also coming to PlayStation 4.
That is correct.
But you're now saying that the original Spider-Man is also coming to PlayStation 5?
Well, let's clarify that. Spider-Man on PS4 will play on the PS5, right? Because it's a back-to-back game.
Sure.
But they're also remastering Spider-Man for the PS5 specifically. Now, we went over this last week, but let me get into the weeds on this one. Your version of Spider-Man from the PS4 does not upgrade to the remastered version on PS5.
Okay.
Even if you have all the DLC content.
Yeah.
What do you get if you get the remastered version of Spider-Man?
You get ray tracing, faster loading, 60 frames per second,
and something else we'll talk about in a second.
Yeah. So you get all that stuff. Now, you can't just buy the remastered version of Spider-Man for the PS5.
Wait a minute.
I thought it was physically.
So
No,
you said
you
all right. The
can't buy it by itself.
Oh my god.
Okay, so the PS4 version of Spider-Man
Yep.
is playable on PlayStation 5.
Yep, and you'll get the same version that was on that one. As far as I know, it doesn't have any upgrades. That I'm
Okay.
aware of.
So it does not upscale to 4K. It doesn't do ray tracing or anything like that, like the
No.
Xbox does.
No, you don't. So Microsoft has kind of muddied the waters here because like those upgrades that they're doing for those Xbox One games, you're getting for free. Spider-Man is not. You're not going to get that.
So if you put in a PlayStation 4 game, you're not going to get any type of special
It'll load
upgrades.
faster.
That's it.
As far as I know, there may be a boost mode that makes it run better. I don't.
Okay.
I really don't know.
All right.
They haven't specified. But the weirdest part about Spider-Man Remastered is, Drew, there's only one way to get it.
Okay, and how do you get it?
You got to buy the Ultimate Edition of Spider-Man Miles Morales, which I believe is $80.
Wait.
That's the only way you can get it.
This is all right. All right, hang on. This is really confusing.
Yeah.
So if I want to play the remastered PlayStation 5 version of Spider-Man,
Hmm.
I have to purchase an $80 version of Miles Morales.
That is correct. There's no other way to get it.
Is Miles Morales like a full-on, like full game, or is this going to be like a 10 to 12 hour game?
I believe it's 10 to 12 hours. It's like a shorter. It's like a Lost Legacy. Remember Uncharted Lost Legacy?
Right.
Kind of that. It's a solid game. It's a big game, but it is not as big as Spider-Man was.
Okay. But you can also purchase Miles Morales on PlayStation 4,
That is correct, and you will get the upgrade for Miles Morales on the PS5 for free.
but not the upgrade to Spider-Man.
No.
Why do I have to learn how to tap dance to understand this?
You're asking the wrong guy that question because I have no fucking clue.
So the only way to get the ultimate version of Spider-Man that has the graphical prowess that allows me to play in ray tracing and in 4K, I have to purchase Miles Morales for $80.
That is correct.
Drew, what is so hard to understand?
No, I understand that, but what I'm
We
saying
want
is,
your goddamn money.
yeah, all right. The ultimate edition of Miles Morales, does it come with just Spider-Man, or does it also come with the
The
DLCs?
DLC is in the.
Yeah, it's all included. The remastered Spider-Man is everything.
Okay. Is this physical or is this only digital?
Oh,
That's another question. Actually, I don't have the answer to that question. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure there's no physical version of the Spider-Man remaster. Miles Morales has a physical version. I do not think it's on the disc, the deluxe edition or whatever.
Yeah, I don't.
So
I don't
you
know.
can't,
the
so
answer.
you
Spider-Man is
can't
still a
purchase the
download.
ultimate edition of Miles Morales, but Spider-Man PlayStation 5 version is not going to be on that disc. You're going to have to download a separate
I
thing.
am pretty sure. I will
I
double
yeah, I
check
don't
just
know.
so I don't give off the.
I don't even know if we know yet or not. Because
This
nobody
is
has the
happening
disc
in a
yet.
month, guys.
Yeah, Drew, we just saw the system today. So I don't know. We still haven't seen the UI though, have we? Or did they show that today? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Wait, you mean like the actual UI of the system?
Yeah, the PS5 UI.
Cross media bar?
I mean, is that what it is? I haven't seen it.
I don't know. Well, I'm assuming they'd probably stick with that, right?
They said they were going to change it for the PS5.
Here, I have an answer for you.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong here, but judging by the account for PlayStation Network and internet connection required for code redemption, I'm going to take a wild guess. Even though I know that there's other digital stuff included, generally that's not what's on the front cover if it's not required for a part of it.
That's true. I guess we'll find out in 36 days. Because why would we know beforehand? It seems stupid.
Well, you kind of need to know what you'd want to prepare for. If I was, until we just had this discussion,
Here,
I was under the impression that I could just, get all of my upgrades through my standard PlayStation 4 version, pop it into my new PlayStation 5 and say, oh man, look how great it looks. It's playing in 4K and ray tracing and all this other stuff. I didn't even know it wouldn't do that.
The only game that Sony is doing that for is the games that are launching with the system. So Miles Morales, Sackboy, whatever games are going to be on PS4 and PS5, like at the launch, those are the ones like God of War, Last of Us. I'm assuming that you're going to have to buy new versions of those games to get the PS5 versions
But they haven't even announced those versions yet.
But that's what I'm saying is like it's not like Xbox. Xbox has made it so that like if you own Gears 5, when Gears 5 gets an upgrade, it's just fucking free.
From multiple, even here it is. Spider-Man Remastered detailed on PlayStation's blog. It says somewhere in here. I could see it on when I did it on Google. Like it's that the PS4 version of Spider-Man's fucking goddamn it. Anyways, it says it's download even on this PlayStation blog. So, yep, it's not even on the disc. You get a download. You'll be able to download Spider-Man Remastered at the console's launch when you purchase Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales Ultimate Edition physically or digitally. So yeah, it's a download only.
Okay. So if Spider-Man is going this route where you have to buy a special version of the game to get an upgrade, I have to assume that if they do upgrades for, like, let's say they want Last of Us running at 60 frames a second, are we going to have to pay for that? Like if they do like a ray tracing update and all that stuff, are we going to have to pay for that?
I question how much of this is Disney's involvement.
But
I know that seems like it's a weird conspiracy theory, but like it's just they've been shit before.
But hold on, whoa, wait a minute. No. It can't be Disney's involvement because Marvel's Avengers is getting a free upgrade.
Okay, but then you're right. Yeah, then this is just shit from Sony. I didn't even think about Marvel's Avengers. You're right.
Yeah, Marvel's Avengers is getting a free next-gen upgrade for both consoles.
Oh my god. I have no idea what the fuck they're doing.
It depends on the publisher.
Which is Sony.
Drew,
And
you have don't even fucking
I don't
wait for what I'm assuming we're just gonna segue into.
What are you assuming we're gonna segue into?
The face?
I already said it.
Oh. Yeah, they've changed the face, Drew.
Yeah, they changed his face.
Why?
Exactly.
So according to the press release, it was because the bone structure of the new actor matches Yuri Lowenthal's motion capture better.
Uh-huh. Because, that was an issue. I didn't feel like that Peter Parker
He wears a mask most of the time.
That too.
Wait. So they changed the face of the model.
Dude,
Yeah,
it's not even close to being the same. Like, Drew, I want you to look up a picture of new Spider-Man face.
I gotta find this picture because I know it exists, right? Oh, I got it. Hold on. Open image tab. That's what I want. Here you go, Drew. I'm gonna put it in this chat.
Okay.
There you go. There's
Oh,
the
wow.
Two-Face. Yeah.
He looks a little bit more like Tom Holland, doesn't he?
Which one's the right one?
The right one is the old face, and the left is the new face.
Okay. He looks younger.
Yeah. A
Significantly.
lot younger.
Like he's almost a teenager.
Okay.
Where Tom Holland is playing a teenage version of Peter Parker?
Sure.
And this is supposed to be a 23-year-old Peter Parker in this game?
So this is the remake. They're
It's on the
changing his
left.
face.
Yes.
Yeah.
What, but like, I don't get why though.
Because it looks more like Tom Holland. And I have a feeling Disney really wants to have a uniformed image of Spider-Man. I'm sorry, the excuse of, well, this fits the bone structure more, nobody complained about the performance of Yuri Lowenthal in the original Spider-Man. In fact, I heard nothing but praise for the original version of Spider-Man.
Wait, so did they get rid of Yuri Lowenthal?
No, he's still
No,
voicing
he still
what
voices
what
it.
they're doing is they've changed the person that they took photos of, because it's easier to model once you actually have a person that you're modeling out on. So Yuri Lowenthal voices the character, and I think did mocap for the character.
Okay.
But they've taken the model and the body structure of an actual person and they use that in the game. However, they've changed the face to match Yuri Lowenthal's bone structure. However, I'd argue that for some reason that's not an issue with Naughty Dog, who is top tier animation. Like, we have our feelings on Naughty Dog, but have we ever questioned the look of their characters? And, Troy Baker doesn't look like Joel. It's never been an issue of matching bone structure.
Here's my thing, though. I don't get, like, all right, I'm not going to say why, because everybody just says that's the question. I get that. But it's a remaster. It's not a redoing of the entire game.
This is a George Lucas level remaster.
Let's be fair, it's not a remaster because the game came out 2 years ago. You can't remaster a game that came out 2 years ago. You're upgrading it.
That's the thing. This should have just been like a 4K upgrade. It may be, make sure it runs at 60 frames per second locked.
Well, I know they've done more work than that. Like, it has ray tracing lighting. I have a feeling it's running.
I bet it's got better puddles.
Oh, fucking goddamn!
I just smiled really big.
I don't.
But I'm sure it's running similar to the new engine of
Miles Morales.
Morales, but you're.
I've never claimed that there's not work going into this. They clearly put work into this. I'm not questioning that.
But people fell in love with this version of Peter Parker that they had made, and it's kind of disappointing. Like, people have pointed out, Miles looks older than Peter now. It's
so funny to me.
And people are like, well, he's supposed to be 23. He looked too old. That was never a problem with me playing this game. I never went, he's too old. He looks tired because he's up all night. And he looks like somebody who was an awkward teen figuring it out.
Who cares? Why go through the work? I don't get. Yeah. I don't know.
That's my thing. It's just
that's
why remaster? Why do this much work to something when all you had to do was just make sure it ran really well on PlayStation 5?
Because I have a feeling. Right? I realize this is weird conspiracy level sort of nonsense. I have a feeling this was a Disney decision, Marvel decision, whatever.
I don't know. I know that
I can't fathom, a developer sitting there and going, you know what we should do? Unnecessary work to something that's already established.
See, I go with the other side of the conspiracy theory. I think Sony wants to make more money off of you, so in order to make you spend that extra $20 on that Miles Morales, we have to make it look like we made changes. We're not just upgrading the tech. We're making changes.
Yeah, that sounds like it right
but
there.
Then the I'll tell you the reason why I don't think that. And I can't imagine everybody sitting around and going, this won't bring any problems. They're who this doesn't really affect? Who's not getting hate mail? Disney about this? Marvel? No, instead people are threatening, oh god.
Insomniac.
Yeah, and it's Insomniac, I'm sure, is not the one that went out there. They have to take the brunt of this decision, and it's just I can't. Why would you try to look more like the MCU version of Spider-Man?
Well, why didn't? Well, here's the question: why did
if that
Disney...
wasn't your not first choice? You know what I mean? That wasn't your first choice, and then.
We'll go with the opposite side of that. Why did Disney not force, the Avengers to change their characters?
Do you mean the Avengers that
look like the characters from the movies?
First of all, I have a feeling that game was just get the fucking thing done at this point.
Which it wasn't.
But if you look at the character designs that are not. Clearly not. The basic character design is not based off of the comic book characters. They're all
Neither
based
was
off of the MC.
Spider-Man, so why change it? I get Drew's point. Like,
But I'm saying is the characters in the Avengers game, like Captain America, is clearly based off of the MCU Captain America. Same with Hawkeye. He's not wearing his costume that was based off of the comic book originals or even the updated versions. No, they're based off of the versions from the MCU.
Hawkeye is the female one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well then I'm fucking wrong. But
And then Hank Pym
is she wearing the mask?
She has the eye thing.
Okay, then I'm wrong. But like,
Hank Pym does not look like Michael Douglas.
No.
motherfucker.
No, Hank Pym is very young in this one.
That'd be a rough one. But like, it's just like I remember seeing the.
Shit.
Oh yeah, because Hawkeye wasn't in the original one, but Black Widow was, Iron Man was. But that's even another thing. The Iron Man game that came out recently, like they're clearly trying to evoke the MCU. Like, I don't have an issue with that. It's just like, to me, this is like, it looks like Tom Holland.
I mean, yeah, I would give you that. That definitely looks a lot like Tom Holland.
And so to me, it's like, you have the choice of doing your own thing, which they did. And I can't see the reason why you would move towards that. It's because it's not a popularity issue.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'll tell you this. That's friggin' weird. Why would they do that? That's all I can say. That's it. Like, what? Why?
Because it's still. I just can't take. It would have been. If they said, like, look, we didn't like our original design, we sat around and said that, if they came out and said, like, look, we know that people fall in love with this design, but like, we feel like this isn't the Peter we are trying to invoke. Like, we kind of regret doing it, and like, yeah, we know it's going to be received poorly, but like, trust us going forward. I think would be a more honest answer. But by saying that, it's like, well, it has to match the bone structure of Yuri Lowenthal better. I'm sorry, but like, that is seemingly not the issue that any other dev that uses mocap. I just can't. Like, even if they said, like, look, it's our decision, fuck you, would be a better answer. It just seems so odd to me that there's this weird story about that. Because again, Troy Baker does a ton of work, and so does Nolan North, and like, they've done mocap, both of them, and characters don't look like them at all. So like, I don't fully understand that argument.
All right. We've talked enough about Peter.
Yeah, it bothers me. Sorry, one thing, last thing. You'll know if it's a Disney decision if they go back through, because they brought this Spider-Man into the comics. And if they go back through and change the faces, which they've been known to do in the past, like they've changed stuff retroactively in old comics, that's when you'll know it's their decision and not Insomniac's. So,
EA has been teasing a Need for Speed announcement, and supposedly it is Hot Pursuit Remastered. Will be announced tomorrow.
Give me a second. I can pull up the artwork for it.
Yeah, Wario64 tweeted the box
did he?
arts.
Okay, yeah. And it looks legit, so I assume it's that.
Yep, makes sense. I mean, we've heard about EA's remasters for a while. Question is, so does Mass Effect get announced on N7? Is that what's going to happen? November 7th?
Maybe we need to, just forget Andromeda happened and just, we'll do a new Mass Effect game.
I mean, they're not going to do it till after Dragon Age, for sure.
That's true. Well, how about we just go ahead and, get a Dragon Age out then?
Yeah, they're working on it.
Because I really want that game.
I hope it's good. Dragon Age is a weird series.
Yeah, you could tell Inquisition was going the way of Andromeda, but it didn't fully go there.
Yeah,
I really hope they say, okay, well, Andromeda didn't work. Let's not do that with Dragon Age then.
Yeah. This isn't video game news, but I got to bring it up. Whoever punched Rick Moranis, you're a shitty human being.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, that dude is. Come on. He's never turned a nasty eye to anybody. Don't punch Rick Moranis. Animal Crossing Halloween updates out. So you can get some costumes.
Costumes.
NHL 94 is going to be a pre-order bonus for NHL 21, and I almost want to buy NHL 21 now.
Is that the
NHL 90.
first?
I don't think it was the first one.
Why 94 then?
Because 94 is probably the best Genesis version of NHL. So there's two NHLs that you talk about when you talk about NHL. NHL 94 on the Genesis and NHL 98 on the PlayStation/PC.
Okay, why?
Those two games were so good. They were so fun. That was when hockey was a ball to play video game form. So the fact that we're getting like a classic NHL Genesis game, like we never get retro sports games in these collections. You know what I mean?
It's true.
So I'm excited for this. I hope you can buy it separately because I really don't want to buy NHL 21. But I really want to play NHL 94 again. I guess I could just boot it up on Genesis, but still. It would be cool to play it on my Xbox or something. So, I don't know.
Also, it takes a puck to play. It's a puck to play, not a ball to play.
Who said a ball? Did I say a ball?
You said it was a ball to play.
Oh, so you're making a joke.
I'm making a very bad joke.
Ho.
But in français. Ha 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 ha.
Oh,
Are you into hockey, Anthony?
No, I used to
I
play.
mean, you're
ball
Canadian.
hockey
You kind of have to be, right?
No. It's not even a national sport. A lot of people think it is, but it's lacrosse.
You hear that knocking on his door? That's the Canadian government being like, "Hey, you're not allowed to not like hockey."
Yeah, no, I'm not a hockey fan.
Are you a sports fan at all?
I like baseball. That's about it.
Gotcha. Do you guys have your own league up there?
No.
No. So you just watch MLB?
He's got the. Is there still a team in Toronto?
There's two of them. There's
Blue
two.
Jays.
And
Nope.
there are two.
Nope.
No? Okay.
Montreal
thinking-
Expos moved it back somewhere, right? Because it's just
At one point, they were trying to suggest that the Expos, and they would be the Expos half the year, and I'm like, just don't even do that. It was like a team that was going to be like half the year you play in Montreal as the Expo, or play as Montreal Expos, and half the year you play as something else. And I'm like, just take the name and leave. Like, don't do that. That's a terrible thing for both the players and any fan. No one's going to go for this. The Montreal Expos have been gone for decades now.
Gotcha.
all right. I'm trying to find a chart here. Okay, so here we go. So if you saw this week, Xbox Series X is in the hands of some journalists out there, and they did some charts this week on loading times.
Cool.
And what we note about these loading times is that none of these games are optimized for Series X. This is just them running off of the new hard drive. So you'll get stuff like, and this is comparison between Xbox One X internal and Xbox Series X internal. Call of Duty Warzone loads in 16 seconds as opposed to 21. Outer Worlds loads in 6 seconds as opposed to 27. Then you get stuff that's not such a big deal, like Evil Within 2 loads in 33 seconds as opposed to 43. Now, let's talk about the biggins. Red Dead Redemption 2 loads in 52 seconds as opposed to 1 minute and 35 seconds. Sea of Thieves loads in 20 seconds as opposed to 1 minute and 21 seconds. And Warframe loads in 25 seconds as opposed to 1 minute and 31 seconds. Now, again, to note, none of these games are optimized for Series X as of this writing. From what I understand, these guys got these consoles, and Microsoft is slowly unlocking things on these consoles so that they can continuously have coverage up until launch.
Those
kinda
mad
smart.
bastards. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, so I would assume every week we're going to get a new set of things you can look at. Digital Foundry did a big video of running the games. Like a lot of the games are just running at 60 locked now. The games that struggled, games like Monster Hunter, now runs at 60 locked. So,
60 frames per second with Monster Hunter is a godsend.
well, if you have it on Xbox, now it just runs on the Series X at 60 frames a second.
Well, I have it on PC, and it did it a year ago. Just
True.
saying.
True. No, I'm not. True. We're
PC
not
Master
gonna have
Race for the win.
not going to have this conversation. How much you pay for that PC? As
About
much as you spent
$1,000.
on the Xbox One X and the Series X combined?
Probably.
Okay, then it should run it at 60.
Yeah, well, you know what? Can you type up a Word document on the Xbox? No, you can't.
Actually, I can.
Show me.
I will if you want. It's got Edge, and you have Cloud Office, so I can type up a Word doc.
Using
Store it in
a
my
controller.
Dropbox. Yeah, or a keyboard because the Xbox supports keyboard.
It's true.
So now I don't think you can do your taxes, so you got it there. You might be able to, but Anyway, let's. I don't have any other. Anthony, do you know anything about the piracy group that got arrested? I was going to talk about this, but I don't know much about it.
No, I don't know too much about them.
So Nintendo went after a piracy group called Team Executor. They were charged with multiple felony counts and have been taken into custody.
If they're generally let me see. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. So they're the ones that did the mods for Switch to play stolen games. So
Yeah,
it's not so much like when you think of this stuff, usually you think of the site that distributes like ROMs or whatever. And no, this is like more of like they modified Switches to be able to play software.
Gotcha.
Now I cannot remember if this is the one that was like there was a group that at one point was like doing like a thing that you inserted into the Switch that would allow it to be hacked. But I don't know if that's this group. The irony of it though is that the one of the Canadian man that's being brought there is a gentleman by the name of Gary Bowser.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. So
All right, let's do some emails. You missed it last week, Drew. We had 5,
Wow.
right? This week we have 2.
Okay.
This first one comes from Daryl, and it is called Xbox Plans. Greetings. I agree with John's questioning on what is going to happen with games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla on the Xbox One/Series X. The game case has both console names at the top. So since it's not a Series X only game, does that mean it can be installed on the 3.1 hard drive and we'll get the enhancements for the Series X? We talked about this last week. Again, I don't think we're going to know until Digital Foundry takes a look at it. Does it need to be installed on the SSD? Would it run even better on the SSD or just load faster? I'm thinking that only first-party and third-party Series X only games need to be installed on the Series X. I would hate to have to install everything in the small SSD just to get the enhancements for the cross-gen games. Yeah, this is going to be one of those things where we're just going to have to look at it when it comes out. Like, what happens when you put, like, because you're going to have Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs is probably the big one because it comes out before the Series X. So you play it on the Xbox One X. When it goes to the Series X, does it just get the upgrades, or do you have to move it over to the SSD before it gets the upgrade? I don't know.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna take a wild guess and say you have to move it over.
I would feel like if you're going to get the full optimization of the Series X, it needs to be on the NVMe. I just feel that that's the case.
Yeah, because it just sounds like
There's got to be some kind of a switch, right? I mean, there's got to be something like that Xbox says, "Oh, okay," and
Well, I would feel
flip
like
the
it's
switch.
knowing where the file is stored.
Yeah, that's
Right,
what
so
smart
even if
delivery
you-
is supposed to do, right?
Even if you have all the data that's needed for the game, say on the external hard drive, right? Say you install it on your Xbox One right now, and you move it over and you leave it on the external hard drive, even if it has all the files, it knows not to take stuff off of there and play it. And again, you're now limiting the speed of the game, not just loading, but all the data that has to go through the 3.0 USB.
Yeah.
So to me, I would assume that it has to be on the NVMe. So I can't imagine it not or I can't imagine upgrading on a 3.0. Like if the Xbox, if your Xbox One games aren't going to benefit from the speed, like I can't imagine the new games that are going to be even higher res, right, benefiting from on being on the external. And or like I have to imagine that it's going to be limited totally, not just in speed.
I would assume, and this is probably what I'm going to do, but I would suggest to everybody, if you own an Xbox One right now, if you have an external hard drive that you're using, transfer everything over there that you want to play once you get your Series X. Plug it into your Series X and transfer from there, but transfer just the games that you plan on playing.
Yeah.
I think that's probably my game plan, is that I have this 1 terabyte hard drive that I'm obviously not going to throw away. So I will just gladly keep all my stuff there, then transfer Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I've yet to play that game, and I'm probably going to play it on my Series X. So I have it on my hard drive. I don't have to re-download it or anything like that. Just transfer it over to my SSD and now play it and not have to worry if it's actually doing all the upgrades or not.
Yep. One of the things I forgot to mention in news is Microsoft. I don't know if you saw the. Whoa! I just pulled my headset cord.
Hello.
So Microsoft, there was a chart that floated around out this week, and I'm assuming we're going to hear about it probably this week. Officially, Microsoft is going to allow you to only install things you want to play. So, for example, they used Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone. I don't know if you've seen the file size of that sumbitch, but it's like over 100 gigs.
Jesus.
So
Hold on.
They are allowing you to split games up. So, say you only want the campaign, you can literally just install the campaign.
Okay.
So that saves you a ton of, because that's the reason why I won't keep Warzone on my hard drive. It's because it's well over 100 gigs, and I don't play the multiplayer, so that's just a lot of wasted space.
As of July 1st, Ken, Call of Duty Modern Warfare now weighs in over 200 gigabytes on PC.
Yeah, fuck that. If you can let me throw 40 gigs on my hard drive for just the campaign, I would totally do that.
Yeah.
I was about to say, because you only got 800 gigs out of the box, boss.
Yep.
That's around that. If you stick with 100 gigs, that's 8 games you can have installed at one time.
There's not even 8 games that are over 100 gigs. I hate that. I hate that conversation because there's only like 4 or 5 games that are that big. You could fit 25 gigabyte games, in 100 gigs. So we'll see. We'll see this fall. Second part of his email, as far as Microsoft buying Bethesda, I think all existing and future games as a service games like Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls Online will be multi-plat. All existing Bethesda games will be available for all platforms, but will all go to Game Pass. But new titles and IPs will be 1-year Xbox exclusive. That would boost sales of the Xbox consoles, and all the new games would be added to Game Pass. That would boost Game Pass sales as well. Then, after a year, put them on PS4 and charge $60. Then they will get a boatload of cash going forward in future sales. Win, win, win for Microsoft, right? I still do not understand, and again, this is just my opinion. I don't understand why this is a conversation. Microsoft bought these people. Why the fuck would you put these games on another console?
Because every time somebody spends money on Fallout 5 on PlayStation, they're still getting the profit from it.
Yeah, but why spend $7.5 billion?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know people want to think that way, and I think if you're thinking who I could see Microsoft, because they've been playing fair with them, is Nintendo gets the Nintendoized ports of Doom.
Which Doom Eternal's still not out on Switch, by the way.
No, but it's still coming.
Supposedly.
I'm sure. Well, it took a while for the original Doom to reach Switch as well.
Yes.
So I'm assuming it's Panic Button again. They did a lot of work to make that game run as well as it did and not look like complete shit. Like, it's clearly not the fidelity of the regular console version even, but like that game for how it looks and how it runs on the Switch is amazing. That even works that well. So I'm assuming it's that level of work, because Doom Eternal is, I'd argue, even though I didn't love it as much, there's way more going on in that game. So I'm assuming there's a lot of work that has to be done, so I'm not surprised it's taking as long as it is. But I could see that happening still. Not just because they're playing well with Nintendo, but because I don't think I don't think they view Nintendo as a competitor. They do not have a handheld system. You know, Nintendo has never been they were the competitor in hardware one time, really, in the last, like, as soon as they moved to disc-based consoles. The GameCube was a stronger hardware than the PS2, and then they dropped that because the GameCube didn't sell well in comparison. So
I don't know.
I could see them working with Nintendo still. I mean, they're playing really well with them right now. So it'd be weird for me to go, or weird to think that they go, no. Ori goes to Switch.
So can you think that the next Elder Scrolls game, proper Elder Scrolls game, will just be Xbox exclusive?
Yeah, that's why you buy a developer.
Yeah.
So
Sorry,
when
again,
fucking
you underestimate the
you underestimate the fan base that's willing to potentially buy another console or buy it on PC.
That's my thing. Is like there are way too many Sony people out there who will, refuse to buy an Xbox.
Okay,
But it's not the people. But it's not the people that are actually the majority of.
Yeah.
The majority of people who buy video games don't get on Twitter and cry because their game is not available on said platform.
Can you imagine if that was the case?
It would be a lot louder.
Why can't I play Candy Crush on this phone?
My point of this is, Microsoft bought Obsidian, right? Do you expect Avowed to be on the PlayStation 5?
I don't know.
No! It is a
they-
first-party game.
I understand that, but they'll still be making money every time a copy was sold on PlayStation.
Yes, Drew, they would
They'd-
be making money. They would be making money if Halo was on the PlayStation
just
5,
trying
but
to
guess
say.
what? It's not. Halo is only on the Xbox and the PC. The next Elder Scrolls game, Starfield, and Elder Scrolls will be on Xbox and PC.
And you'll see it on Steam.
Yes.
Because Microsoft has no issue with Steam. So you won't be locked to the Windows Store. You'll be able to buy that stuff off Steam, but you won't be able to buy it on... I'm sorry, that much money...
If they'd have paid for an exclusive rights to those games for $1 billion, I would be on board with you, Drew. But they spent $7.5 billion. You don't spend that much money to become Sega, to become Activision.
To become Sega.
Do you spend that kind of money because you want people in your ecosystem? Starfield on PS5 is not in their ecosystem.
You know how it ends up. You know how it ends up on. It ends up on PlayStation if PlayStation goes to Microsoft and goes, we'll allow your Game Pass on our consoles. That's
If Game Pass shows up on PlayStation, people can play it there.
Yeah,
but you'll never be able to go to a store and buy a PS5 disc that has Bethesda games on it anymore.
I get the feeling this generation we will see Game Pass on PlayStation.
I
don't see it.
I think they have to go into the place of we're entering this next console generation as the loser, so we are going to do everything that people want. That's how, because right now Sony doesn't have that issue.
You mean like when the PS4 came out and
Yes.
they were making all those
Please,
cheeky
God,
videos?
like us, yes. Price is low. You can use games.
Look at this. This is how you share games. And then this generation's like, fuck you, pay for a face.
Yeah.
Only time will tell. You may be right, Ken. I just don't. I don't know. I just don't see it.
I know it's hard to see, but the thing that sticks with me every time, Drew, is that Microsoft would not pay more than Disney paid for Star Wars to
Marvel.
put fucking games on a competitor's platform and make theirs look weaker.
I understand what like the hope, and I totally think that you'll still get Fallout 76.
Yes.
Because the things like that, like you'll get your, like, not that they do a lot like from Bethesda, but you'll still get certain games where it's like clearly the main emphasis is multiplayer, because Microsoft has proven themselves to be smart enough to, like, because they were for crossplay beforehand, that it keeps people playing longer the more people you have, right? So if you can get it out to everybody and everybody can play together, then you don't run the risk of empty lobbies and stuff like that. So I can see stuff like that, but for the most part, Bethesda stuff isn't that. So I don't see the value in Microsoft going, yeah, this will just show up on everything.
So let me ask you this holiday season, which system do you think is going to sell the most?
They'll sell whoever has the most stock.
Yeah,
That's true. Well, let's say in the perfect world where they both had the exact same stock.
I unfortunately know that the answer is still
They would both sell the exact same amount. If they both had the same amount of stock this fall,
Yeah.
this fall doesn't matter. This fall doesn't matter.
No, but if you're ask me, PlayStation, and it's not. There's no other reason why other than like marketing wise,
they were on top last year.
Yeah,
that too. But the marketing push has been like all the stuff we talk about with Microsoft is like right after you get the box, the stuff you discover. It is not the thing that like an average consumer will be looking into unless they get a good employee at wherever they're buying their console from to tell them. Like,
he's not wrong there.
So like Game Pass is hard to understand until someone explains it to you.
That's true, yeah.
You can't put that on a poster and just get it. But Sony can put up a poster of Miles Morales, PlayStation 5, and it makes sense instantly. So, that's the reason why Sony... And you're right, Sony also was big this generation, so of course that's going to be leading into this. I think also just the fact that it says PlayStation 5... I know we've made fun of the naming conventions of Xbox, but like it makes sense. The numerical value stuff just is easier to pick up. It takes a little bit longer with any sort of named console that isn't just 2, 3.
We're going to need to look at this in a year and a half to 2 years.
Because that's when it gets important.
That's when people who aren't us are buying these machines. And here's the Trojan horse I think Microsoft has besides Game Pass. Game Pass is huge. When people start looking at it as the Netflix, people will start getting into it. What Microsoft has as a Trojan horse is a $299 console. Price plays a huge fucking deal for people who are not us.
Yeah. In fact, I would go as far as to say at the end of this generation, if they continue to support the Series S, that may be the best-selling console out there.
They've already said that it will be supported through the whole gen.
There you go. Then I'll go ahead and predict it right now. The Series S will be the most sold console of the next generation.
I agree that the Series S will be the best-selling Xbox. I agree with that.
I don't disagree. It's one of those I don't know, so I can't agree with it type of thing. I will say this. The fact that they have that, and it's clear that Sony is... I was wrong. I always say I'll admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong. I thought the push would be no discs in the PlayStation, inevitably. But clearly that is not the case, as the allocation of the digital version is going to be gone.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to make the digital version next year. I think it was just the reason to have a $399
But
console.
I don't think the price is going to drop next year.
I don't think it's going to exist.
Yeah, it's just not going to be there.
I mean, for the standard PlayStation.
No, it'll still be
So-
$4.99 next year.
Right. So now, once that happens, that's when it starts to be an actual, oh, this isn't just bought out of, excitement. This is now where it hits the actual market and not just the insane
Enthusiast.
video, enthusiast market. And that's when you'll start to see more people. Now, I don't know if the reason why you say I don't know if it'll be the Series S is because unless you're buying it online, I'm assuming you're going to be talking to someone, right? Like if you go into a Best Buy and you're looking at consoles, generally someone has to get it for you. And that all you need to say is like, yeah, this puts out 4K and can play your 4K Blu-rays or 4K Netflix or whatever, and it'll do all this stuff when you buy the Series X for this much more. It can do this, and this. And some people will upgrade. So I don't know right now, especially if it is someone that's like, hey, yeah, like you can play the new Call of Duty or whatever, but it's gonna run better and look better on here. Some people will upgrade inevitably.
Well, how about this? How about I am a PlayStation fan. I buy the PlayStation 5, and then, I don't know, maybe sometime next year, it's finally announced Starfield's coming out.
Right, then you
I
buy a
can-
Series.
You buy a Series S.
Right.
So I think that's what's going to end up happening. Is
And
that
I think
a lot
that's a
of
smart
people,
move too.
yeah, a lot of people are going to, jump on the PlayStation bandwagon, and they're like, man, I'm going to miss out on the Bethesda games. You know what? Why don't I just pick up that Series S? It's cheaper, and I can still enjoy my Game Pass stuff. That I think that's going to be a huge market for them.
And the fact that like that stuff will come because Bethesda stuff comes to PCs, it'll come to PC under Game Pass as well.
Yeah.
So
so Game Pass, so Microsoft, people are like, well, they'll make more money there. No, they're going to boost Game Pass subscriptions fucking substantially on PC.
Yeah.
All of Bethesda's games included in this monthly subscription? Are you kidding? Please. Doom is in Game Pass this month. Doom Eternal.
That's the thing. When I saw the Bethesda thing, it made me so happy to be a Game Pass subscriber.
Hell yeah, dude. That's all those games. Like, when we finally get Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop, you can just play them.
For free, instantly.
Why would I buy them on PlayStation 5 even though I have a console? Why would I pay $70 for those games where in 6 months I can just play them for free? Like, that's the mentality that Microsoft is going for. Like, hey, you know that Starfield game that's coming out, the one that you usually pay $60 and play like 400 hours in? It's free. If you have Game Pass, you just play it.
Day one, when it comes out.
Yeah, as soon as it launches, you load it into your Xbox and boom, you go.
Yeah. I mean, the Outer Worlds was kind of the first one to do that. That was like big.
Yeah, I love that. I didn't have to pay for it. I just played it.
And I was just like, geez, this is insane.
Yeah,
it's like you get a freaking 100-hour RPG instantly day one just because I'm a subscriber to this Game Pass thing, which I've been a subscriber to for 2 years now.
And think about this: when Halo launches next year, you ain't got to pay for it.
Exactly.
You just
now
play
we can finally watch Killer Wolverine kill himself with a grenade again.
All right, let's finish up this email.
All right.
I love this Bethesda conversation because we have it every week, and we're going to continue to have this argument until Microsoft comes out and says Starfield is Xbox and PC. Whatever. Lastly, Mafia Remastered is a great game. I never played the original, so was surprised in the really good linear story. I'm only about a third through it, but the characters and banter is really great. Environments look great, but some of the faces and animations during conversations look off. Probably because it's a 20-year-old game, and they couldn't redo motion capture on every actor with the current motion capture tech. Not even sure they used motion capture back then. But otherwise, it looks great and is really surprising me. I set aside 13 Sentinels, Kingdoms of Amalur, Avengers, all good games to keep playing Mafia. Let's get Mafia 4. Thanks and take care.
I have some bad news for you. That is all new animation. This game is not built on any shell of the original.
No.
The story is the same. That's it.
That game still continues to be really good for me too. I just did the what was it? The church, the funeral scene. That was really good. I really enjoyed that. That was like straight out of some fucking gangster movies.
I even think like if you go to Mafia 3, you'll see that like it's not perfect, but those games like Hangar 13 does some really good work, and it's like I kind of want to see what they do next.
Yeah. All right. Next email comes from Antonio. He says, we're almost a month away from Microsoft launching Series S and X. We're also almost a month away from Sony finding out they also have to launch a couple of consoles.
Yeah.
Seriously, what is the deal? Is the OS garbage? Are the majority of PS4 games not going to be playable at launch? Are they ashamed of how big it is? They shouldn't be. That's bragging rights over here in the West. Hell, I'm even in the mindset that rapper Travis Scott only had a controller and not the console itself. They have to show something this week and or get some consoles out to the media. And I'm not talking about that one Japanese YouTuber whose PS5 video will probably be heavily controlled by Sony. One last note. My sympathies to all you true patriots out there. Your leader has come down with COVID. I can't imagine what he is going through. Well, that's enough about Cam Newton. Have a good week, boys.
Oh my god! Wow! Wow!
I give you credit for that email. That was very funny.
Yep. I like the twist at the end.
Oh yeah, you had me in the first part.
Wow.
So
man.
PS4. I mean, we talked about this already. The PS5 is. Yeah.
They weirdly enough, across the board now, X is going to be confirmed, which has never been the thing in Japan. Japan, it's always been Circle.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
is that really a big deal?
It's
Are we having a conversation about that instead of the OS or?
just it's a very odd thing because we would be having the conversation if it was they were going to Circle, right?
I don't know that I would have this conversation about anything. I just want to see the fucking system.
Well, that too, but I'm just saying like that was odd to me that doing
The PlayStation 5 will not fit in most homes in Tokyo.
That. It's
No,
bigger than most
that
homes in
is-
Tokyo.
Yeah, you sent me that picture, and I was like, "Oh man, that thing is big."
The thing is a hoss, dude, and the Xbox Series X is a big boy.
Chunky.
Yeah, and
But-
it's standing next to that one is like a
It
A
looks
little-
tiny.
tiny thing.
Yeah, which is funny because in theory the X is more powerful. Yes. I don't know how that works. It don't matter. None of this matters.
That's I don't know. Obviously, I think we're going to get a lot of information this week from Sony.
I hope so because we ain't seen shit.
I mean, I haven't watched any of the videos, but I'm sure there's videos of people legit turning on an Xbox and showing it load and then pop up and then go to the dashboard kind of thing.
Yeah, that was. I mean, there's tons of them.
We have yet to see that on PlayStation.
Yeah, no, not at all. I don't understand it. I mean, those systems are in boxes on their way to warehouses. How come we have not seen this?
Huh?
It's October. It's fucking October. There's a month left. 30 days. We joked about this with the price. But we figured once we got the price, everything else would just kind of fall into place, right? Microsoft's been doing it. They got the systems out like the week after the prices went live. People are now talking about them. They've got them. They're playing them. Where are the PlayStations? I mean, you gotta get it out there.
I'm sure they're in people's hands.
Maybe.
They're just being under embargo.
Maybe.
A power level ain't none of your friggin' business,
None of your friggin' business.
spaceman.
All right, Twitter. Before we get out of here, Radio PM says, Wombat appreciated this. I wish he was here. It's been a long time. I should leave you a nice dope tweet to read through. So EA is going back to the vault to remaster either a Hot Pursuit or Most Wanted. What are we thinking? Have an outstanding show.
I feel like this is we know it's Hot Pursuit, but I don't know. I kind of wish they'd go back and remaster games that are actually hard to remaster instead of just being like, this game we've ported.
Yeah.
Because it's not like these games were on PC. Like, they had better settings than what was on PS3 and Xbox 360.
We want to see more Resident Evil 2 level and Mafia remaster.
I want my Need for Speed Underground 2.
You mean Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, the original Need for Speed
That
3
too. God
Hot
damn
Pursuit.
it.
Give me that one.
I do want Need for Speed
I
Underground
really
2.
liked Hot Pursuit 2. That was a pretty good one.
Those are like the Call of Duty games. I get confused.
But
So it was the first one was Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit.
Hot Pursuit.
Then there was just Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. And then Hot
there
Pursuit
was
2.
2.
ugh.
Yeah. And then they did another Hot Pursuit way back in the day. Like
That was Need for Speed 3.
No. I'm talking about like early. Didn't they have one on 360?
There's one on 360, yeah.
Is it Hot Pursuit?
Mm,
There's one on 360 called Hot Pursuit, yes.
Yes.
but I
That
thought
is the
that was
one they're
Hot Pursuit.
remaking.
God.
I can't. I don't know. It's a car chasing another car. That's my explanation for it. It's a car chasing another car.
Yeah.
Coppers. The one on Xbox One and PS4 had the what'd you call that? Remember that when you could use your tablet? What was that called? Second screen? What was it called? Fuck.
Using the Surface or whatever?
Yeah, because remember Dead Rising 3 had it where you could like drop stuff through using the tablet, like somebody else was there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. What was that called? Was that the launch title? Was that a launch title?
Yeah, Dead Rising 3 was a Xbox One launch title, and it had that smart screen or
No,
whatever
no.
they called it.
No. Wasn't the Need for Speed a launch title too? That Hot Pursuit,
It might have been.
or was it called? Or was it a Most Wanted game? I can't remember.
Most Wanted was a launch game for the 360.
Hang on a second here.
I don't remember what the Need for Speed game
Rivals.
was. Rivals was the launch game?
Yes.
Ugh.
Yeah. Bad game.
That game's not good.
I'm looking through the list because I was like, this is too confusing. There was Need for Speed 2, Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit in 1998. Is that the one you're talking about, Ken?
The PlayStation 1 one, yes.
All right. Then there was High Stakes, Porsche Unleashed,
Yep.
Hot Pursuit 2. Then it went to Underground 2,
Yep.
Most Wanted,
Then
360
Carbon.
launch.
yes, Carbon,
Yep.
Pro Street.
Pro Street was god awful.
It's fine. It's a bad Forza. Undercover,
Yep.
Oh, God.
Shift.
Wasn't Undercover the one that was built on the Frostbite that had like the story mode?
No, that wasn't Undercover. That was the one where you're going across country. Need for Speed.
The
Hold
Run.
on. We're
The
getting,
Run.
Yes, we're getting there. Then there's Need for Speed Shift.
Yep. That was a different, separate series.
Well, they did Shift. There was Nitro, which is Wii and DS only.
Yeah, those were the other ones.
Need for Speed World, which was PC only. That's not playable anymore. Hot Pursuit 2010. Shift 2 Unleashed.
Yep.
Oh, God.
I reviewed that one.
The Run.
Yeah, I reviewed that one.
Most Wanted.
That was
2012.
the launch title for the PS4 and Xbox One.
No. Most Wanted was PS3, PS Vita, Xbox 360, Wii U.
Jesus Christ, I can't remember this. now.
Rivals was the PS4 launch title. I knew that.
What the fuck?
But it was Rivals because you were rivaling against the police. You could play
Yes.
as either the police or the street racers.
Yes.
Too many.
Take the role of a racer or a cop. Then there's No Limits, which was an iOS game.
Okay.
Then there was Need for Speed 2015. Jesus Christ.
I remember that. That was the reboot, yep.
Payback,
Then Payback
and then Heat.
and Heat.
Fucking hell.
Hey,
Heat
man.
Heat was pretty good. I'll give him that. Heat was pretty good. Payback, I didn't like that one.
I don't even know what's happening anymore. It's fucking crazy, man. Anyway, so yeah, they're remastering a game. I don't even know which one they're remastering. Chad wants to know. So when do you think Sony is going to announce there's a filthy casual mode for Demon Souls?
Never.
Do you know how many people would piss themselves, and I mean literally piss themselves, because of how upset they are about there being a casual mode in a Souls game?
Even though you don't have to play the casual mode?
Yeah, I think if you put it in there, you'd sell a lot more copies, and that game's already selling a bunch, so just imagine.
Yeah, I know, but
I mean, they put a filthy casual... I mean, they basically put a win button in Last of Us 2. I didn't hear people crying about it.
What was the win
They're
button?
just
Drew, in The Last of Us 2, you can make it so that if you're laying prone, nothing can see you. You can just crawl through the entire game. And I get it's an accessibility feature. It's for people who have a hard time with video games. But why you can't put stuff in that like for Demon Souls?
because it ruins the integrity of the game.
Fuck your integrity. It's a fucking video game.
fuck your integrity. Yeah, no, those people don't have any integrity.
Speaking of integrity, did anybody watch the South Park Pandemic special?
No, I haven't.
Oh my
I've heard it's amazing.
God.
My friend messaged me like 5 minutes ago and was like, "It's really good."
It is really good. It's
How
really
long is
good.
it?
It's
an hour.
It's an
Yeah.
hour episode, but like 45 minutes after commercials are taken out. So yeah, it's really good. It's really good. It's really gross too. The thing they used to explain how the coronavirus started. Oh my god. To say it involved
know what it
bats
is.
and
And Randy.
pangolins and Mickey Mouse
And Randy.
and Randy doing Randy things.
Oh, Randy was the start of the coronavirus.
Yeah, but you need to see how it started.
I've heard that.
Oh, and how he tries to cure it is even better.
Oh God!
Oh lordy, oh lordy. Anyway, that's all the. If Demon Souls is a first-party Sony game and it does not have the accessibility features that all of the other games have had recently, I will be hugely disappointed. I might actually be excited to play that game if it had some of those. Just throwing that out there.
You fucking heathen!
I know, right?
I don't.
God forbid I want to play a video game. It's awful.
How dare you?
Anyway, that is
You
all
human
that I
garbage.
have. Yep. Please,
Terrible.
at
What
me on
terrible
Twitter.
You're wrong about the game theories as they drool on themselves.
Dude, I've been yelled at like 3 times in the last 3 weeks on the show. I love it.
I hope I hope it's my fault, but then it was like, no, that's right. That was all you were doing.
By
If people
who?
just, I forget who yelled at me the first time.
Wow.
Like somebody sent me an email because I trashed the Avengers. They got really mad. They were yelling at me about playing Overwatch, which I think is hilarious. Like those games are not anything the same, but whatever. I forget. I got yelled at because I said I wasn't buying a PS5 and then whined on Twitter because I couldn't get my pre-order to go through.
Yep.
I'm like, whatever. I mean, if you're worried about that, that's fine. Don't bother me. Get mad at me all day. Anthony gets mad at me every week, and it don't matter. None of this matters.
Oh, you always go back to that.
Because it's the best line, Drew. The best line.
I sometimes, some of my coworkers, whenever they call me or text me, I reply with, "What do you want? What do you need? Can I not work here without occasionally having to deal with you animals?"
If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at N4G Podcast. If you want to email us, it's podcasts@ztgd.com. We're now on YouTube. We're now on Spotify. Or you can subscribe to us on iTunes. If you want to follow us on Twitter, Drew is at Drew Leachman. I am at ZTGD. You can follow the site at ZTGD Content. Also, check out Phoenix Down, God of War episode finale this week.
Yep.
And then Dead Space.
Yeah, Dead Space 3.
That game was good.
If I remember correctly, the trailer, or not the trailer, but the advertisement for Dead Space 3 had "In the Air Tonight" by Phil Collins.
What was the commercial I saw yesterday that had a weird remake song? Was it Call of Duty?
Every video game has some weird slow version of, and I know why. It's because Gears of War used Gary Jules' Mad World cover from Donnie Darko.
Yep.
You know what the one that stuck with me recently was the Batman trailer that used Nirvana's "Something in the Way," a song that like never got any airplay because that song is fucking dark.
But was it a cover?
No, it was Nirvana.
Oh yeah, no, that's different. That's a different. I'm talking about the commercials that use like cover versions.
Yeah, the slow cover version of a much faster song usually.
Yeah.
Didn't somebody cover a Nirvana song in a trailer recently?
Oh, I'm sure.
I know that they covered
Yes, you're right, Ken.
Heart-shaped box and that infamous Second Son.
Yep, that was bad. That was a bad use of that song.
I feel like Nirvana shouldn't be classic rock because I grew up with it, but it's totally.
It's not classic rock. It's
Yes, it
grunge.
is.
No, because classic rock has a very specific sound, and it's grunge music, and we should refer to it as such. Because as soon as we classify that as classic rock,
It's rock and roll, and it's classic.
That's the classic
Classic
rock
grunge.
station that
Are you
is
gonna
local
tell
here.
me? Are you gonna tell me that Pink Floyd and AC/DC are even remotely in the same
I don't call
category?
Pink Floyd classic rock.
Okay,
What do you
I
call
can't,
them?
I can't talk to you.
It's psychedelic,
No, it's not. It's classic.
experimental. It's not classic rock.
Pink Floyd is classic
Eagles
rock.
is classic rock.
You have a classic rock station where you live?
Yeah, classic
They
rock.
play Pink Floyd?
Radio stations are terrible judges of anything.
Yeah.
I just like to call it rock and roll music, and it's classic, so we're good. Nirvana is now classic rock to me because the last album they released was in 1993.
This is the equivalent of it's got randomization, so it's a roguelike. No, it's not.
It is.
Ugh.
I think classic rock isn't necessarily a genre as it is. It's music that's old.
Yeah, pretty much.
The
I
problem
remember
is
when I
that
found
for,
out, like, when I first heard Guns N' Roses on a classic rock station, I felt old, and now I hear Nirvana on it, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I heard friggin' Jeremy the other day on my classic rock station. And I was like, oh boy.
I don't want to be old.
the reason why I'd specify more than anything that like we never went back to a sound of the Eagles as a culture.
The
Like,
Eagles is just garbage.
You're right, but all the stuff that around that time. Don't come defend the Eagles.
I like the Eagles.
Ugh,
Don Henley. Fucking
fucking.
just go away.
Well, you keep your dirty laundry then.
Anyways, like there is sounds we moved past as a culture. God damn it! Give me a second here. Buffalo Springfield, 60s, late 60s, early 70s to
Cletus Clearwater Revival.
Yes, thank you. That's exactly who I was thinking of. We moved past all that stuff.
There's still bands that sound like them today.
Yeah, you're right. But are we going in a big way? Are we referencing those bands? Like popularity wise,
Clearwater is literally the helicopter ride into Vietnam.
I understand that. But that's also what I'm saying is that
That's true. Like any helicopter riding into Vietnam, what's the song playing?
It's Fortunate Son. Yes. I'm the Fortunate Son. Yeah.
It's just like it's literally like any extreme sports game from the '90s. What was the song?
Click, click, boom.
Click, click, boom, baby.
Saliva. But I'm telling you right now, like we won't see a return to rap rock, thankfully. But I have a feeling like just
Fred
based
Durst
on
still tours.
Fred Durst also makes movies. Nobody watches. Did you watch The Fan? No.
Wait, the
Great.
fan?
With John Travolta, Fanatic fan.
I don't watch anything with John
Was it?
Travolta.
Wait a minute, wasn't the fan Robert De Niro and
The
Wesley
Fanatic.
Snipes?
Sorry, it's the Fanatic.
Oh, the Fanatic.
Starring John Travolta.
Oh my god.
Directed by Fred Durst.
It's not one of those he said, she said. Oh
It's-
shit.
You
He
need
must,
to look
he
up.
must have did it for the nookie.
Oh, who else is the? Devon Sawa is the character that John Travolta is
Idle
stalking.
Hands, baby. Idle Hands is a classic movie.
But
That's actually a fun movie.
I love that movie. Fucking Seth Green's in that movie.
But I have a feeling like you'll see a revival of grunge soon, just based off the way that like we're slowly moving out of the time where like phone nostalgia for the 80s is growing or is depleting, I should say. So you're gonna see phone nostalgia for the 90s. I have a feeling you'll see a revival of like grunge music. Hopefully not rap rock, but God knows we might.
Yeah, rap rock was more late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah,
the grunge,
that's true.
Grunge rock was the early 90s. Like 91 was when Nevermind came out, and that was when it really just went fucking full force.
So
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why when refer to that as classic rock, because we rejected that stuff come grunge. Like we rejected hair metal and all that stuff. Like that was all not cool anymore. Grunge came in, and I have a feeling grunge will return as neo grunge or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But
New grunge.
Yeah.
Helmet still plays.
In you grunge.
yeah, I'm not saying look, they're gonna try, but that fucking god damn it, Dr. Feelgood,
Vince Neil?
Motley Crue.
Motley Crue still tours, and their lead singer can't sing. So I mean, really,
you went straight to Vince Neil instead of the band name. That's
Well, because
funny.
that's what we need to know. Because Vince Neil, go look up Vince Neil, greatest vocalist of our time.
I mean,
There's two videos of him singing "Dr. Feelgood" and "Kickstart My Heart," and it is amazing. Oh my god! And the comments up under them are even better.
1, 2, 3, my heart. Kick down my heart. Like, you know what? I'm doing that too well.
Yeah,
He's out of breath.
He's out of breath. He is obviously 200 pounds overweight. The
I
dude,
mean, Rock of Love, dude.
Oh,
he,
yeah. Poison.
wow.
That's another bad band that we moved away from, thank God. Hair metal. Ugh.
You know, I still listen to some of that stuff.
Oh, I do too, but it's camp.
It is. I still think out of all of those, I prefer Bon Jovi over all of them.
Hey,
Because Bon Jovi turned it to stadium rock. That's like, this is fine. There's nothing. It's
and the guitarist was in The Sopranos.
that too, but just his stuff is like, it's kind of like, I know people give shit to Nickelback, but they're the same sort of thing.
You just
This
want
is
to defend them because they're Canadian.
No, trust me, I have to hear them more than you do. I'm just saying, like, in the grand scheme of things, outside of their pop songs, it's like, this is fine.
Look at this graph.
Well,
It's like the best 5-second video of all time. Look at this graph.
and then it's the uncomfortable smile right after.
Yeah.
That's hell. Look at this graph.
That's it.
if I could get away with it, I would have this podcast start with
Are you talking about Force of the Sun?
because it creates Clearwater CCR. And then just have like in the YouTube video, just have a helicopter flying into the studio.
One of the no, it's you just hear it's sup repeated, like the blade spinning. Sup.
I'm always reminded of the Family Guy joke about what's a helicopter sound like. Patoo, 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 patoo.
This is derailed entirely.
That's okay. I enjoy derail. I can't stop thinking. Fortunate Son is like that thing like every time it just
Oh,
it fit. Like
that-
you didn't even think about it.
That and Sympathy for the Devil. Those two songs just are like, okay, I know Vietnam War. I understand.
The what's the other one from? Like basically the Forrest Gump soundtrack.
Yeah.
What was the there's something happening in here.
That's
Buffalo
yeah.
Springfield.
Buffalo
Yeah,
Springfield.
Buffalo Springfield.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
another band that I was
Yeah.
thinking of.
That's another Vietnam song. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when something sad happens and like people are reflecting. Something happening in here.
For what it's worth, that's the song.
What's the name? All Along the Watchtower.
Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, that one too. That's kind of a big one.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. Can you believe it? It's crazy, right?
Jefferson Airplane. Another.
Janis Joplin.
Yeah. All
Me
that
and
stuff.
Bobby McGee.
All that stuff to me is classic rock. Even though you see elements, you never return.
I want to listen to James cover band Janis Joplin now.
You want me to do Janis Joplin, me and Bobby McGee?
That's the sound. It's kind of like when you do Bob Dylan. It's like wee 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 wee.
Vince Neil straight up does it now. Go listen
Yeah.
to him.
I don't want to listen to Vince Neil in 2020. 2020's already been a shitty year. I don't need it to be even shittier.
Oh, it's one of my favorite videos because they've put the text on screen.
Oh,
Just
well, you
show
kind
you
of
what
have
he's
to.
singing. What he's singing. Big Mac, 1, 2, 3.
Big Mac.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's what it sounds like.
It's making me hungry. We got chicken steak now.
Oh, let's not get into English because we got a lot of that.
Yeah. Did you watch? Did anybody watch Dragon's Dogma?
No.
No.
I only watched the first episode. I don't know how I feel about it.
Mm.
I don't know how I feel about it. Anyway, I should probably get out of here so we can go do other things. But anyway, that's it for the show this week, and that's where we out here. Peace, bitch. Fuck off. Oh, I hit the wrong button.
You
It's
hit
still
join.
recording.
Yep, we are.
Hey, how's it going? We're still here.
So,
So, fuck off.
Alrighty. And it goes something like this.
Epic fail. Welcome to the N4G podcast. Zero tolerance.
This is going to be a very interesting episode.
Gather time.
Greetings, programs. I got lost trying to find my way to the secret underground N4G Radio lair.
The Wombat. And
I've always lived in angry.
Killer Wolverine. Play games, not consoles. No fanboys allowed.
And then I killed the dragon. 8.0.